And there's a good look at the 16th ranked Gonzaga Bulldogs, #1 seed in the tournament, coming in at 28-3, 18-1 in conference play, your regular season champions. The Portland Pilots at 22-8, 15-3 in WCC play, the 2nd seed, and coming in 2nd in the regular season standings. Let's go back to 2020, Nikki Fargas. That's when the Portland Pilots shocked the world and won the WCC tournament title, only to be denied for that wonderful trip to the NCAA tournament due to COVID.
Well, when you look at what they had to go through, they were a #4 seed in 2020, and they were able to come back and win that. But the cancellation due to the pandemic, guess what? That's going to make this team hungry. They're back into a championship game, and now they have an opportunity to advance to the NCAA tournament.
All right, so we're ready to tip things off. And a tip-off violation right out of the chutes, so Gonzaga will get us started. The higher seed wearing their home unis. Portland Pilots in their black uniforms, purple and white piping. We are underway. The WCC Women's Championship up for grabs. Boy, Ejim doesn't miss a beat, and right off the chute, out of the chutes, it's Gonzaga on the board.
Well, what this young lady can do, she can put the ball in the hole, and to give her that easy of a catch in the area that she can knock down the free throw line extension, you're going to have to put a little bit more pressure and limit her touches.
Diving to the floor, Ejim and Shear. Good look at Lisa Fortier in her 9th year, 20 victory seasons in her 9 years. The only Gonzaga coach to accomplish that. 5 straight NCAA appearances, most probably going to be 6, despite what happens today. Perfectly run inbounds play, Shear with the gimme.
Well, when you look at Shear and the fact that she's hunting for shots early for this Portland team, she's going to have a big game. For Gonzaga to now allow them to get on the board early, that's the thing that you want to do. You want to come in here and put points on the board early as possible, and obviously establishing paint points is going to be key as well.
You know it, as Ejim attracts all kinds of attention. 10 on the shot clock now. Kaylin Trong. Travel will go against Gonzaga.
Well, I like the defensive pressure here that Portland said. They're not going to let Trong just come off of that ball screen easily. They're going to double her. They're going to get the ball out of her hands because she can distribute and make things happen.
Trong coming off a great performance yesterday in that victory by Gonzaga over BYU, 79-64, a tight game that busted open in the 3rd quarter. Clinical Gonzaga play in that 3rd quarter to result in the victory. Nice hustle, rebound by Maxwell, and here comes Gonzaga. The Pilots having to go down to the wire to defeat Pacific in the semifinals. Kind of an ugly game, but at the end, it was clutch shooting and defense for the Pilots. Blocked by Cochran inside.
Again, I like how Portland is really overextending their defense and really getting into the offensive player and not allowing them to have anything easy.
Shot clock violation and smothering perimeter defense. Good look at Mike Meek in his 4th year. Meek has done a great job in turning this program around. Still stuck on 2 apiece.
Well, as you look at the spacing here, Portland has done a nice job of really playing more of a 4-out, 1-in look, giving them the opportunity to go inside right there for the easy 2.
What a great pass by Fowler, showing why she's one of the best mid-major players on the planet.
I like that Fowler is establishing herself because she's going to be that player that they've got to look for, but you also got to make sure that you're covering Trong as well because she can knock it down.
Trong, unbelievable in terms of her shooting this year. As good as she was last year, Kaylin Trong, your WCC Player of the Year, has been absolutely phenomenal.
Again, Portland really taking their time, establishing paint points. Nice high-low look there by this Portland team.
So the bigs doing a great job in the assist department for Portland. Fowler and then Cochran with the assist.
Well, this dynamic duo, if you look at Fowler in their last game against Pacific, she dropped 29 on them on 10 of 14 shooting here, so she's getting herself established. This Portland team is doing a phenomenal job of just having patience, taking what the defense gives you. And there you see you've got Burnham right there with the layup. And then here's a little pass here from Cochran back to Burnham. Nice, easy layup there by this Portland team.
Burnham, by the way, picks up that first foul as she hacked Ejim, her first, team's first. Ejim yesterday against BYU, 21, 11, and 5. 3 steals, 2 blocks. Come on.
Now that's filling your stats right there. That's a stat filler, and she does it multiple ways, and she's one of those hardworking players that really does all the little things, rebounding, scoring, defending the paint, holding it down there, making sure there's a presence. And so this Gonzaga team has that balanced attack, especially when she's involved.
Huge triple by Burnham. Gonzaga doesn't close out, and Portland makes you pay.
Well, you got to open up the offense there, and they've done a great job, Portland has, of just expanding their offense. And it's going to be harder or longer for you to cover. But this Portland team has really started a good first quarter against this Gonzaga team.
High-low, wild pass. Maxwell with the pick. Here comes Gonzaga looking to tie or take the lead. Nowhere to go. Another block for Cochran into the hands of Fowler.
Off of that block there, that gives Portland a chance again to push tempo, but a missed 3 there. But I like the tempo of this game right now.
Boy, me too, and a much better first quarter for Portland compared to what they did against Pacific yesterday. Pilots by a deuce, 5:25 left to go in this first quarter. Trong rimming out, Meek with the board, and here comes Portland. She wants to run, does Meek. Burnham rimming out. She thought she had another triple.
Well, it looked good from here. I will tell you that. And again, she's that one player that you got to know where she's at all times on the floor.
Another turnover against Gonzaga as the Pilots going deep into the bench. Frawley, Kaitu'u, Bruno on the floor for the Portland Pilots. Maut Hybins checking in for Gonzaga, along with Kaylee Trong, finally back in the lineup after missing so many games earlier this season.
Well, it's great to have another one. You got another ball handler. 2, you got someone who can facilitate and really get her teammates involved. And 3, she can also score the basketball. So offensively, Gonzaga, who averages 72 points a game, they're looking to get their offense going a little bit more.
Kelsey Lindsay checking into the Pilot lineup as well. So both clubs going deep into their bench. It's a 2-point lead for the Pilots early. Portland with the early 9-7 lead. Nikki, you mentioned how healthy Gonzaga is. Well, Portland's still reeling by the injury to Haley Andrews. You're looking at her, ironically, injured against Gonzaga in game 1 of the regular season, blew out the same ACL. This club has done great, but without her, I'm telling you, it's a different bunch.
It has been, and you know what, when you have a teammate of Haley's stature, what she's meant to this team, what she's given to this team, and for her to have a season-ending injury with an ACL, you've got to play for her. You've got to want her to know that we're here for you, and we respect everything that you've done for our team, and right now, we're fighting for you as well.
You know, yesterday, as the jump ball results in the possession for Gonzaga in the post-game press conference, Fowler and Burnham both cried openly when talking about Haley Andrews, what she has meant to this team, all the assists, points, steals, but just that heart and soul factor of the Portland Pilots no longer able to go, and they both cried saying how much they miss her presence on the court.
Well, it definitely will be a different ball game for this Portland team with her in the lineup. You saw her stats there, giving them an extra offensive punch. But the fact that their teammates feel so compelled to emotionally attach themselves to her, that's why you dig down and do a little bit more, because you know you've got to feel what she meant to this team, and they're doing so today.
So she watches and coaches from the bench, if you will. Gonzaga with their 4th turnover gives the Pilots the ball again, and then a quick whistle. So the foul is going to go against Hybens, her first, team's first. See if the Pilots can run another one of those slick inbounds plays. They're just trying to get it in. So here's Kaitu'u and giving it up to Frawley.
Well, again, you look at the movement of this Portland team. They're moving and they're passing the basketball. When they're at their best is when they're averaging 17, 18 assists a game.
Busted play. Fowler's got to put it up. She can hit the 3, rim and out, right into the hands of Williams, and Gonzaga will trot it up. Ejim hawked by Lindsay. Great job by Ejim to just roll to the basket. Can't get the little mid-range. Another opportunity for Gonzaga.
Well, when you're running a 1-2-2 zone defense, the one thing that you're going to have to do is you're going to have to box out of it. And what Gonzaga was able to do was get an offensive rebound to give them a second look at it, and there's a good, strong rebound right there.
Frawley yanks it down, but right into the hands of Kaylin Trong, so another jump ball. Possession arrow favoring Portland this time. Maxwell Hollingsworth back on the floor for Gonzaga. Cochran returning for the Portland Pilots. Kaitu'u will tie up the boots. Been stuck on 9-7 for a while, Nikki.
Yeah, the offense right now has slowed down a little bit since that timeout, but with the addition of Cochran in the game, it'll give you that height advantage that you're looking for, but she's also that rim protector, shot blocker. She's got 47, despite missing over a month of playing 10 a few games, but this Gonzaga team is getting after it defensively as well.
How do you like that? So Trong with the strip takes it all the way down, another triple for the stud.
Well, Trong is one of those players that she's going to hunt for her shot, and she did a really nice job right there of getting her feet set. So once you get this turnover right here, guess what you're going to do? You're going to push tempo and go back in transition, and no one picked her up. So she said, let me do this. I'm going to line it up and knock down the 3.
Well, you're not kidding. Her 24th multiple triple game. How about that for Trong, your WCC Player of the Year? Kaylin, if she gets doubled, the trap comes up, and now her sister will look to lead the offense. 9 on the shot clock. Nicely played by Hollingsworth to take that baseline. She'll go to the line. Bruno with the first foul.
Well, as you're watching this Gonzaga offense right now, they're playing really far away from the basket, but once they break that double team, they got to go downhill, and right there they attacked the rim and was able to draw the foul.
That's good patience in the half court by Gonzaga. For the 38th year on ESPN, Champ Week continues tonight with the Horizon League title game at 7 Eastern. Then, it's the West Coast Conference Championship game on the fellas side. The Zags have played in every WCC title game since 1998. Both are also on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. 12-9, Zags with the lead.
Good save there by Portland against that 1-2-2 pressure that Gonzaga is bringing to them. And now sometimes in the press, if you don't get the steal, if you don't get the turnover, if you eat the clock down, that still plays in your favor, and that's still a victory. So right now, the clock is winding down, and you got 15 seconds and have to start your offense.
Meek and Shear back on the floor as the shot clock continues to tick away for the Pilots. Wide open 3, nothing there. Frawley doing what she does best, and that's grinding on the boards. Wow. You watch Burnham get tag team. And Kaylee Trong will get whistled for that foul, her first, team's second. Fowler back on to the floor for the Pilots, and Williams returns for Gonzaga.
Well, you look at this Gonzaga team defensively, and they've done a nice job thus far. And what you see is anytime there's a rebound, they're around there. They're trying to get their hands on it, especially Trong. She's in there trying to rebound or steal the ball so they can go the other way.
It's been a physical game, and the refs are letting them play. 12-9, buck 25 left to go in the first quarter. Maxwell with her first triple try, not there. Nice block out by the Pilots. Here's Shear. Meek loves the three, shows you why.
Again, the communication of this Portland team. You had the transition. They boxed out on the other end, so they was ready to push tempo back, and then your spot-up shooters, that's what you do. You sit there and you're waiting for that three ball to come to you, and they were able to do so.
When Haley Andrews went down, Mikkel Meek took over the starting role as the point guard. Daughter of Mike Meek, the coach, and it's just been kismet since she's gone into the starting lineup.
Well, it's been great. You know, one of the things that you always say, a coach's daughter is like a coach on the floor. And she's done a nice job of just coming in and establishing that. But look at this Portland defense just smothering Gonzaga right now.
Ejim flips it out. Hollingsworth, kind of a busted play. And how about Hollingsworth?
Well, again, the playing downhill, if you can break the three-point line against this Portland defense, then you're going to have open looks. You're going to have open looks at the low block. You look in, and then you look out. If they're collapsing in, then you're looking for the kick out, and your spot-up shooters are sitting right out there ready to knock down the shot.
The lead is 3 for Gonzaga. Barely a breath of a difference between game and shot clock. See what the Pilots can do in terms of half-court execution. Here's Burnham.
Well, at this point, be ready for some one-on-one, looking for the dump in inside, and nice backdoor look.
So a beautiful feed inside to Cochran for the bucket. Nicely played by the Pilots to go into the end of the first quarter.
Well, when you have a team that's managing the clock down the
tournament here at the Orleans Arena in Vegas, Gonzaga leading Portland by a deuce after one. WCC Coach of the Year, Lisa Fortier, her club doing another great job in terms of heavy lifting.
Well, when you look at what they were able to put together for this season, back in November, they had 2 big wins, one over Louisville, who was ranked number 6 in the country. They sent them into overtime. They had another big win over Tennessee, 73-72. November was the month for Gonzaga to really set the tone, to then really go undefeated, if you will, during the conference play here. So they've been battle-tested, and this is a great tournament team.
Second quarter underway, stepping back against the tough Portland Pilot defense. Boy, and finally, Fowler gets a call going her way. She's been looking for it. Williams with her first, team's first. All right, Nikki, Pilots in this thing, trailing by 1, and yet Fowler has not yet scored. She leads the conference in scoring.
Well, I think you're going to have to credit the defensive scheme. And look at this defense right here by Trong. That led to that easy layup there, and that's where you're going to get those easy baskets, is when you're turning them over, and Gonzaga is able to do so. And then I like the fact that this Portland team defensively has said, we're going to take away the paint. We're going to take away your scoring inside, and they've done a good job of that.
Jim running the floor so well for the easy bucket to start the second quarter for Gonzaga. The lead is 3. 7 on the shot clock for Meek and the Pilots, trying to get downhill, no can do, catch and shoot. Pilot Shear, you bet.
Wow, that was a great closeout. But the fact that Shear was able to get it off, that high arcing three-point shot going in nicely, this Portland team has come to play.
All right, let's take a look at the last couple of buckets on each side of the ledger.
Well, here's the steal right now by Trong, and then you've got Emi. She's coming down the lane. She's looking. Ejim is running hard to the rim, and you've got to award her for doing so. And again, this defensive pressure that Portland has come up with. It's a great defensive scheme here, but the sweet spot in this defense is in the middle of the floor. And when you're able to get Egypt the ball there, she's able to knock down those shots.
And how smart is Egypt to find that sweet spot?
I mean, she's just roaming around, and she's able to see the angles and the gaps in that offense. And those couple of free throw line areas, that's right in her alley. That's where she's going to be, and that's where her money spot is.
Fowler had a great look to get on the board. No can do. Williams rimming out. One and done. 19-17, Gonzaga early in the second quarter. Burnham looking to turn. And Egypt with another carom.
Well, one thing you know about this Gonzaga team is that they can knock down three-pointers. They're shooting 41% from beyond the arc, which is currently leading the nation. They make 8 a game. This Gonzaga team has a balanced attack, and right now you've got Egypt getting warmed up now for Gonzaga.
Egypt now in double figures already. She leads this club with nearly 17 a pop. She's got 10, and the lead is 4 for Gonzaga. Shear, basket didn't want it, into the hands of Gonzaga, and here comes Kaylin Trong.
Again, the spreading of the floor right now by Gonzaga, moving the ball around, getting into that sweet spot. Nice little dive and double down pass. And this post play, this 1-2 punch that's going on inside here, you had Hollingworth who was seeing that Egypt was open there, and she gave up her shot to give her. That's unselfish play, and you're going to be rewarded by doing so by knocking down the free throws.
So Shear picks up her first, team's second. Frawley, Kaitu'u, Lindsay back onto the floor along with Bruno for the Portland Pilots. What I'm seeing, Nikki, is against this high press by Portland, I'm seeing Gonzaga move a little bit better without the ball and really starting to beat that defense.
Well, they're moving the ball better, but the players are moving around. You're seeing them not just standing in one spot. And when they see that there's a double team, they're getting into the angles where the ball handler can see. They don't want to have Trong not see where they're at, and you can't. The ball has to have vision, and that's what they're doing a nice job of. But they're also attacking the high post area, which is giving them options, and that's been really good for this Gonzaga team.
Hallie Stokes on the floor for Gonzaga. Hybens returns for the Zags. The lead is 6. Nice run by the Bulldogs. 6 on the shot clock now for Lindsay. Tries to hesitate. You got to put it up if you're Frawley. Wow.
That's using every second of the shot clock, and nice look there by Frawley. She was over there waving her hand. She had been open for about 7-8 seconds. They just couldn't see her.
Williams gets out of trouble. Here's Trong. Little hesitation and kiss off the glass.
Just so smart and just letting the game come to her. The ability to read the defense, and she was thinking about taking that three. That was going to be a really deep three. That's like an NBA three. But she saw what the defense was going to give her, and that's, again, headsy play. You want the ball in her hands right now.
8 points now for Trong. Nice ball movement again. This time, Trong, 3. Oh, what a first half for this kid.
Well, again, Trong is doing the little things. She's not only doing it on the defensive side of the basketball by grabbing and snatching and being that defensive hustler, but she's also offensively getting it done. Her ability to see her teammates, but more importantly,
in a thriller, you've got your eye on a couple other games, don't you?
Well, obviously, I'm going to keep my eye on this North Carolina team. They had the loss against Duke this past Saturday, 57-62, but they've got a dynamic backcourt duo with R.J. Davis and Caleb Love. And then prior to the Duke loss, you see you got Virginia slated in that second spot. Well, this North Carolina beat Virginia on February the 25th, so you just never know.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. Well, we're here in Vegas for the championship game of the women's WCC tournament at the Orleans Arena. Ann and Nikki, delighted to have you with us.
Well, I like it here too.
Yeah, nowhere else I'd rather be. Gonzaga lead now by 8. Another broken play, but Frawley grabs it. 9 on the shot clock now for Lindsay.
And again, you can see Trong getting her hands on a lot of balls. Deflections typically leads to steals. They sometimes also lead to shot clock violations because she got their offense out of rhythm. Trong is doing a little bit of everything for this Gonzaga team as the point guard.
Man, I know you were a defensive bulldog back in the day. You got to love this, huh?
Well, I played for the great Pat Summitt.
Well, I hear that.
If you didn't guard anybody, you didn't play. That was kind of a rule of thumb. I think I had a few teammates that didn't want to guard a lot of people, but they caught on real fast that they wanted to get some playing time.
There you go. Ibens had a great look right into the hands of Stokes. Good poke check away by Frawley. She'll wait for some help. Here's Bruno. Bruno's mom played for Gonzaga. Fowler. They're going to call a jump ball, and Mike Meek cannot believe it as Fowler is slow to get up.
Well, guess who was in that play action who came over to really try to negate that easy score, and that was the hustle play of Trong. She came out of her defensive side, and she was able to get ball on that. I'm going to call a jump ball on that one. That looked like all ball to me. What about you?
I think that was a pretty good call. I think what Meek is also saying is my kid's been just getting hog-tied this whole game. When can she catch a break? But I think that was the right call.
Well, no one said it was not going to be physical. You're playing for a ticket, to punch your ticket to the NCAA tournament right now.
These two clubs, arch rivals in the Northwest. Frawley battling. Fowler grabs it. Fowler starting to swing the bows a little bit. So the foul is going to go against Mount Ibens.
Well, I like the hustle play here and the extra effort that you're seeing on both sides of the basketball. Portland is getting on the offensive glass as well as Gonzaga has been doing so too. But this battle of the boards right here, this is a tough play. This is a win. I'm going to win this ball for my team to get another opportunity. And this in out of bounds play, the play action that they're running, this Portland team, I have to talk to Becky Hammond. She might need to put some of this in.
That's brilliant. Short there. Should mention that Shear and Meek back on the floor for Portland. 28-20. It's been tough sledding lately for the Pilot offense. Gonzaga getting after it defensively. Ejim picks up that foul. Her first, team's third.
Well, what you want is your post players trying to establish post position before the ball. Do the work before the ball gets there, and Hollingsworth was able to do so.
Whistle off the ball. Hollingsworth whistled for that foul. Her first. Team's fourth. Again, Fowler yet to score for the Pilots, and they're still in this thing. But that's got to change, Nikki.
Yeah, they're going to have to really try to establish her. And in the last couple of plays, they try to do so. She's trying to do the work beforehand, but struggling 0 for 4 from the field right now. But there's other things that she's doing for her team. Look at the extra dump pass right there. It's got to go for them. But this Gonzaga team, again, I like the tempo that they're playing with right now. They're looking to push. They're looking to establish it. And once it's not there, they'll set up their offense and look to execute against this zone.
Yet to score for Gonzaga. Maxwell with the ball. She's that triple threat. She's yet to find the bottom of the net. And yet, the Bulldogs lead by 8.
Williams had the penetration from the baseline to the middle, and if she had to do it over again, I bet you she would elevate and take that knockdown jumper right there because she had two of her bigs underneath in great rebounding position if she was to miss.
Cochran back on the floor. Fowler will sit for the Pilots. The drought continues for Portland. Ball is up for grabs. It'll belong to the Pilots. 1 for 9, the Pilots. It's been cold.
It has been the scoring drought here. And I think you're going to have to now go inside. You're going to have to look to get some easy baskets in the paint.
And the Pilots have gotten some good looks, but they haven't been able to convert. And, of course, Fowler scoreless at this point. Nine on the shot clock. Frawley, ball on the deck. She'll go all the way to the rim, and she'll go to the line.
Nice take right there by Frawley. She saw that the shot clock was winding down. So in this instance, you put your head down and you try to get to the rack is what she was able to do.
So Ejim picks up her second. Ejim has fouled out some 6 times this season. So Fortier says, I think I'll have you sit for a little bit. We need you in that second half.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to roll the dice, so to speak, with 2:31 to go in the second quarter.
Coming up on the All-State Halftime Report, March Madness Bracket Predictions. Sunday Selection Show, cannot wait, but much work to be done until then.
What I'm excited about is to see what these teams are going to be able to do in NCAA play. You know, if you look at both of these teams, are both of these teams worthy of an NCAA bid? Yes, especially if Portland was able to win today, but this Gonzaga team with the leadership and the scoring of Trong right now with 13 points, 5 of 6 from the field, she's not missing.
Basket didn't want it, unlucky for Frawley. The last time Portland has defeated Gonzaga, Nikki, was in 2020 in the semifinals of this tournament on the way to their unexpected championship as Maxwell gets on the board. That's what she does.
Well, Maxwell is one of those players that when you're playing that matchup zone there, you're going to look for your shooters, and the corner is one of the hardest places to cover, and if you put your best shooters there, then you're going to be able to knock down some shots. Right here, careless turnover by Portland.
Maxwell with now with triples in every game but one.
Well, you know what she does best is she can extend the defense and make it very difficult for you to cover her. And when she's spotting up and has time, and that's what she does best, and that's what she's able to bring to this Gonzaga team against this 1-3-1 look now that Portland is playing.
Best in the country in terms of that three-point percentage. She had 18 points yesterday, all in the second half. Maxwell against BYU. She can get hot in a hurry. Good swipe. Burnham wants to push. Hesitates. The kick. Now inside to follow her, looking for her first points of the game.
I think she overthought her opportunity to knock down the easy layup there. Little was so open that she didn't even realize it, but right now, this Portland team's got to get some points on the board.
Cochran not able to go as she's double teamed. (33-22), 7-second differential between shot and game clock. Forgot about that 10-second violation that was about to happen. Trong skips over the midcourt line.
But as you can see, she knows that the double team is going and you're supposed to put your head down and attack, but if this Gonzaga team can get the ball moving a little bit, they obviously got it into the middle of the floor, and an offensive foul is being called.
Yep. So Hollingsworth picks up her second.
Well, again, good ball movement, putting the ball in the high post area, and a little bit of lowering of the shoulder is why they made the call against Hollingsworth right there. But with 7.8 seconds to go, there's plenty of time for Portland to get a good look at it. They've got to push tempo here and spot up shooter and give them a good look, and still can't get one to go.
Boy, Burnham almost followed up to beat the buzzer. But it was a dominant second quarter for Gonzaga, and they lead it 33-22 at the break, outscoring Portland 18-8 in that second quarter. So after the break, we will send it to John, Monica, Charlie for the All-State Halftime Report. Back and forth affair in the first quarter. Gonzaga taking over in that second quarter. And look at the Dogs, they're leading by 11.
It's up on her. Just know that she's able to distribute the basketball as well.
Fowler, the leading scorer for Portland and in the WCC, held scoreless. She's got the 7 boards, does Alex, but no points. And again, that's got to change.
they're going to have to make sure that she gets some easy touches. You can see that she's getting a lot of attention inside. They're doing a nice job, Gonzaga, of really crowding the paint and making it very difficult for her to score. But the way that you get going offensively is you can also get on the offensive glass. You can get yourself to the free throw line, and that's something that she's going to have to look to do.
So Trong, Kaylin with the 13 points and all those triples. Ejim joining Trong in double figures with the 12 points. Burnham leading Portland with 7, but all of those points came in the first quarter.
And so Burnham had the hot hand in the first quarter, and then what you didn't see in the second quarter was her to take that same aggressive approach in the second quarter.
Third quarter underway, stepping into a hoop right away is Ejim.
Well, you've got Ejim establishing paint points early for this Gonzaga team. She did it also in the first quarter as well. And then you look at the fact that she and Trong are playing off of each other so well. But this is going to be a game where you're going to have defensive stops for Portland to get back into this and then go down and score the basketball.
Fowler finally on the board. She gives you 18 points a game, playing the defense inside, but deep is Hollingsworth.
Again, the ball movement and the player movement by this Gonzaga team, they're looking to reverse the basketball quickly versus the double team. And then if you're establishing your position early before the ball gets there, that gives you the angle inside, and Hollingsworth was able to score it.
Travel's going to go against Gonzaga. Nikki, what does Portland have to do to get back in this thing? Just chip away a little in this third quarter.
Well, defensively, you're going to have to really do a nice job of slowing down the basketball and not overextending your defense, because right now they're not able to rotate back. And then you're going to have to be able to knock down shots. That's something that this Portland team, you know, when you look at their ability to score the basketball, they can get the hot hand. They can get going.
Cochran nudges one home. Gonzaga is a team that protects leads, Nikki. They are 20-1 when leading at half, jump ball, possession arrow, favoring Portland.
Again, the hustle plays, that's what it's going to take. And the double team is coming at random times, so you don't know when the ball handler is going to be doubled. And in that position right there, you've got to have the ball in Trong's hand. She's the one that has the great court vision and can see when it's about to happen.
Cochran, plenty of time on the shot clock. Shear looking for a cutter. And here's Fowler. Inside. Cochran, the transfer out of Oregon. Wide open look for Fowler. 4 quick points to start the third.
Well, at the half, I know that Coach Meek had to have a conversation with her, and she's probably telling herself the same thing, like, I've got to get going here offensively for us to have a chance. And look at the play action right here. The defense right now is playing harder, in my opinion, by being scrappier, getting on the floor and doubling, and you thought that they would have had a layup just then.
Burnham tries to fly in for the weak side rebound. Instead, it'll be Williams that wants to push for Gonzaga. Early third quarter here at Orleans Arena. Gonzaga, Portland, top 2 seeds meeting in the championship. And getting a nice bounce is Eliza Hollingsworth.
Well, again, to be able to guard away from the basket, Hollingsworth had a wide open look, about free throw line extended, and she can knock that down. I do like this high-low action right here. That's a nice pass there by Cochran to go inside.
So Fowler scoreless at the half, but now with 6 quick ones. Wide open look. Maxwell usually hits that short corner. Instead, it's Meek the other way. She's got Shear. All the way is Meek and gets it home.
Again, big rebound there to be able to get the ball down the floor. And I like the aggressive play of Meek. Right now, this Portland team, 10-6 in the quarter. The game right now is in their favor because they are playing hard right now.
Another jump ball. It'll stay in the back pocket of Gonzaga as Hybens checks back in along with Kaylee Trong. Frawley back onto the court for the Pilots along with Kaitu'u. 39-32, nice start to the third quarter for the Pilots, what they needed.
It is. They're doing a nice job of really establishing themselves in transition, but more importantly, they're getting their best scorer involved in the offense, and Fowler's doing a nice job of being that for them. And defensively, they are attacking the offensive players by trapping them. They're getting on the floor. They're not giving them easy looks.
So Ejim gets the great position. Kaitu'u with the foul, her first. Team's first. Lindsay back on the floor for the Pilots as well, the veteran guard. Runner is true by Williams. Williams gets it home.
That's a nice little runner, little floater right there. Again, this Gonzaga team is finding multiple weapons of scoring the basketball. Trong and Ejim did a great job in the first half, and now you got to get distribution, and Hollingsworth is doing a nice job. And so again, that balanced attack by this Gonzaga team has worked.
Burnham blocked by Ejim inside. Williams just tosses Burnham to the side, and here comes Williams. The trailer Burnham ties up Ejim. Things getting a little chippy.
Well, this possession itself was very physical. As you can see, you had bodies on the floor. On the other hand here, look at Trong in there getting her hand in there. And then let me just shove you off of the block here. And as the Gonzaga goes the other way, the ball is now a jump ball. And I like the scrappiness of both of these teams. They know what is at stake, and that's what you want to see this time of year.
Third time these clubs have met this year. Gonzaga winning both regular season games, and here they are in the winner-take-all title match. On the shot clock. Fowler. Hybens has got her. There's the kick. Lindsay steps back and blocked. Williams has been all over the place defensively. And all the way in for two.
Very nice play by Williams. She didn't go for the step back three, and the length of Williams is very deceptive, and so she was able to get that block and then transfer that into a nice transition basket. I think Portland has found something here good with the high-low action, but the defensive effort by this Gonzaga team right here, you can see the hesitation and then the block, and then it's leading to the layup here. Williams has done a nice job of finishing at the rack. She's given this Gonzaga team a great spark here going into this third quarter.
All right, so Ejim will take a seat. That last foul on her, number 3.
Well, that's critical. We're going to have to keep our eye on that because Ejim has been the one that has really established herself inside as their leading scorer with 14 points right now. But the player that also hasn't got going in this half thus far is Trong. So with 5 minutes already elapsing, Trong's going to have to get herself involved a little bit more.
Cochran and Meek returning to the floor for the Pilots. Good job by Portland's defense getting in that passing lane to create the turnover. Wide open look, and Burnham buries it.
Well, Farley said, you know what, I'm not going to look for my shot. I have a possible layup. Let me go ahead and hit my partner there, Burnham, stepping in for the three-pointer. And this is the way that you cut into a lead. You got to get defensive stops, and then you got to look to score the basketball.
Trong back rimming off. Hollingsworth flags down the long rebound. Another try for Trong. Floater, you bet. So Trong misses that three and then comes back with the traditional floater. Burnham, what a game Mazey's having. Look at the floater, Trong. This is turning out to be a heck of a game. Clark, she deserves about 30 seconds and then some of just trying to wrap your head around the triple-double the other day.
Well, the fact that she's able to score so many different ways, her ability and her accuracy makes her so special, and shooting 9 of 17 from the field, but more impressively was the 17 assists that she had. So here she is, not only scoring 30 points and knocking down shots, but she's also dropping dimes to her teammates.
The bigger the stage, the more she fills it up. She is something else. Caitlin Clark, all right. We got a good one here in Las Vegas. The Pilots and Bulldogs. Kaitu'u inside, can't get it down. Cochran rips away the offensive carom. Good hands by Gonzaga inside, and here come the Bulldogs. So whistle blows, quick break, come on back, Gonzaga with the lead.
But I think I like what they did with Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech was able to come away with a victory and win a ACC championship there, and I think they're one of those teams. I remember watching them early on this year, and I know they had a big win at Tennessee, who was ranked top 25 at the time, and they've continued to amass a really strong record. And the play of their team, and again, I like watching the spread offense, and they do a great job of that.
Good defense inside by the Pilots, forcing the turnover, so Portland will take it the other way, trailing 45-36. Both Trongs on the floor now for Gonzaga. Cochran is going to give it up to Burnham. Long three is good.
Burnham might get heated up here from the three-point line. She was phenomenal in the first half, and if you give her those open looks, she'll knock them down. And the fact that she's 3 of 7 from the three-point line, she probably needs to take some more of those.
More heat from the Pilots. Burnham with 16 now. Gonzaga avoids the turnover. And Meek will be whistled for that foul. Well, they're going to give it to Frawley.
Yeah, you had a little contact there on the ball handler, and you can impede their ability to penetrate downhill. So looking at the defensive pressure here that Meek was applying, she's setting the tone also defensively that you're not going to get anything easy here.
Turnover against Kaylin and Gonzaga.
So what Portland has been able to do off of those turnovers is the last turnover, they was able to knock down the three. Let's see what they can do with this possession right here. Again, getting those stops and coming down the other way and scoring. That's what you want. And again, this dribble drive, penetration kick, they're going to get an easy shot here from the three-point line.
Meek buries the huge three. It's the closest Portland's been, and it seems like forever. "6-0 Pilot run." Williams back on the floor, bobbing and weaving, and it's going to be another Gonzaga turnover.
Well, you said it right there. The turnovers are causing havoc by the defensive pressure of this Portland team. They are really getting after it, and the hustle plays are in their favor. Here you have the dribble penetration, and once you keep dribble driving and Meek sets her feet, here comes the three-pointer. There's a lot of energy on that bench, and you can see that they want it bad.
Mike getting after it. He's loosened the tie, the trademark vest, but the tie's loosened. You don't see that often. Here we go. Fowler all the way in and scores!
Again, Portland changing up their offensive execution against that 1-2-2. You had a flash by Fowler at the high post, and then she had to rip and go to the rim right there. Fowler came ready to play this second half because the first half they had held her scoreless, and now Fowler is 3 of 9 with 6 points, but 10 rebounds.
Whew. Another turnover. Trong loses it. The Pilots have a chance to reclaim the lead. They haven't said that in a month of Sundays.
Again, look at the patience and the nice high-low dish there. You had the high post flash coming in, the post-to-post play of Cochran to Fowler. That was beautifully executed there by this Portland team. Again, the momentum, it starts with the defense, it starts with the hustle plays. But look at the ball movement here with the high-low. This Portland team is not going anywhere.
After being held scoreless in the first half, Alex Fowler starting to feel like herself. What else has been going right for the Pilots?
Well, I like the defensive pressure. They're turning over this Gonzaga team, which is eliminating their ability to score the basketball. Right now, Gonzaga's got 16 turnovers, and off of those turnovers, points off of those turnovers, 21 points by this Portland team.
10-0 Pilot run to lead is now with Portland with 1 minute to go in the third quarter, dominated by the Pilots. Hollingsworth is going to leave it. Trong can't get it home. Cochran rips down the board.
This is the tale of two quarters. In the first quarter, you saw it was very close. In the second quarter, Gonzaga pulled away 18-8, and now in the third quarter, 24-12 by this Portland team.
Great defense by Trong, just rips it out of the hands. Ooh, to the floor.
And look at the hustle.
Play by Meek. Can Burnham finish? Ooh. Kaylee Trong just hammers the Portland Pilot.
Again, the defensive pressure here and the hustle play by Meek. The physicality of this game. Trong with the hard foul there to say, hey, we might not let you get anything easy here. But I like this hustle on both sides of the basketball, and Burnham, who came up with the loose ball there, is at the free throw line.
Burnham's got 16 points and counting. Trong, by the way, Kaylee has the 2 fouls. Burnham, 1 for 2 from the charity stripe. Going into these tosses, 24.1 left to go in the third quarter. The Pilots trailed 33-22 at the half. Nikki Fargas, and look at him now.
Well, this has been the quarter for Burnham. Right now, she's got 11 points in the third quarter, and then Fowler got started. She was 4 of 5, finally getting her offense going with 8 points. Those two collectively have really done a nice job of giving Portland this lead.
Shot clock off, game clock at 12 right now. 12-0 Pilot run. Williams all the way to the rack. Hollingsworth, nothing there. Ejim will go to the line.
That's one thing that you're going to have to keep Gonzaga off of the boards because they do a really nice job. They out-rebound their opponents +6. And when they're not turning the ball over, then that's what you're going to have to compete with. But I like the hustle play, again, on the offensive glass, keeping the ball alive, giving yourself second and third opportunities, especially when you have a scoring drought.
Ejim rims out. Portland just got hammered on the offensive glass by Pacific yesterday. That was job one in terms of squaring that up. They've done a better job today.
Much better job. Great point in highlighting the fact that the board, to me, controls the tempo of the game. And right now, when you look at the rebounding effort of both teams, they've done a nice job of just really staying disciplined. But right now, you've got 27-20 on the boards in Gonzaga's favor. But this Portland team is staying in there strong.
Charge is going to go against Meek. She almost drilled that half-court shot. Instead, Meek will be called for her second foul, team's 4th. So Gonzaga looking for some magic. So a dominant third quarter by the Portland Pilots. Wow, reversal of fortune here at Orleans Arena. Three-pointers have been kind to the Pilots. 48-46, Portland with the lead after 3.
It's letting everyone know that in the third quarter, look at the damage that she's done.
Fowler says the club has a chip on their shoulder since COVID denied the Pilots that NCAA tournament appearance in 2020 after the Pilots roared through the WCC tournament to win that title. Well, fourth quarter underway. Fowler and her Pilots after that huge third quarter leading by a deuce.
Well, there's no reason why it should not come to anyone's surprise that she is one of 5 finalists for the 2023 Becky Hammond Mid-Major Player of the Year Award.
Ejim on that finalist list as well. Maxwell, front rimming off, big board by Burnham, who has had herself a heck of a game. Fourth quarter underway. Oh, man, this has been a ball. Cochran looking for help. Fowler wants to go high-low. Cochran wants it low on that block, and here's Fowler. Shear, the 3. Ball stays with the Pilots.
Again, the patience that Portland is playing with right now. 4 or 5 different players are touching the basketball. They're looking to isolate, if you will, in the high-low action. And when it's not there, then there comes the 3 ball. So if they continue to manipulate the clock in their favor and not get rushed and take care of the basketball, they're going to get good looks.
Hollingsworth back on the floor. Little will take a seat. Shear all the way in. Can't get it home. Ejim Ball is loose. To the deck is everybody. Burnham looking for help. Burnham trying to say, hey, I got fouled in there. Possession arrow, though, favors Burnham and the Pilots.
Well, I love how she kept the ball and kept moving the ball so no one could get to it. But again, these two teams, look at the hustle play here on the floor. And the fact that she's like going back and forth and saying, hey, no one touched it. And so she now, to me, is saving possessions by saying, I'm going to sacrifice my body and get on the floor. Now that's their ball again. So this is the third opportunity for Portland to score the basketball.
Looks like a review. Should mention that Maisie Burnham grew up in Spangle, Washington, about 18 miles from Spokane. Wasn't necessarily recruited by Gonzaga, so she's got that little, speaking of chip on the shoulder, right?
A little bit there, and you can see why, but she's such a competitor, and she's laying it on the line right now for her Portland team.
Meek triple. Another offensive rebound for the Pilots. This time it's Shear. Not there. And safely into the hands of Ejim, so the Pilots missing some opportunities.
Yeah, you want to come out of that timeout or that quarter, and you want to establish yourself right there. But this team right here, Portland, is doing a nice job of just really playing to their strengths, and they're also making sure that they're doing it on the defensive end of the basketball.
Great hands inside. Here's Shear. She'll go all the way. Trong knocks it loose.
You can see Trong eyeing the ball the entire time and getting that deflection and saving this Portland team from scoring a layup and maybe just a little graze of the hand, but who's watching?
18 turnovers now for Gonzaga over their seasonal average. Trong saves the day, though, and Fowler gets whistled for the travel.
Again, the play is becoming very choppy for Portland right now. They've had two really good, if you look at the first possession, the second possession, they've had two possessions right here where they could have extended their lead.
You're reading my mind, Nikki. You can't have those lost opportunities against a team like Gonzaga.
No, because this game is about runs. This Gonzaga team is very experienced. They know what they're capable of doing once they stay into their defensive system and offensive system. So any opportunity that Portland has to execute on the half-court side of the basketball, you got to do so.
Shear picks up her second, team's first. Gonzaga faithful starting to get noisy and a little restless, too. Trong hesitates, the runner not there, ball up for grabs. Ejim is going to step in and score.
That's what they're going to need from Ejim, her ability to get on the offensive glass and give them a second opportunity right now. She's got 17 and 9 rebounds.
Huge game for Ejim, one of the best in the conference. Great inside pass by Cochran. Burnham gets fouled. She'll go to the line. What a nice look by Cochran.
Very nice look. That looks like a pass that a guard would make, but to have Cochran know how to put the ball right there, and good early position by Burnham with the post feed, and now she's put herself at the free throw line. And again, this game is going to be who's going to execute on the offensive side of the basketball. And right now, both teams have got to get going, but you can see that the high-low action has been good for Portland.
Bruno back on the floor, by the way, for Portland. Hey, tomorrow in the association, Double Dip starts in the Big Easy. Pelicans, Mavs, 7:30 Eastern. Then it's off to LA, Raptors, Clips. Coverage tips off with NBA Countdown at 7. One of two free throws for the Pilots, and they reclaim the lead 49-48.
And Portland's victory over Pacific. Fowler, Shearer, Burnham both did a phenomenal job, but what happened with this team is that they shared the basketball. They had 21 assists in that game against Pacific, and right now they could be on pace to do so with 15.
Ball up for grabs. Cochran comes up with it. Fowler wants to run. She's got Frawley, who just returns to the floor. Doesn't want the three, and now looking for some help. Meek. And Maxwell picks up her first, team's second.
You can see the patience and this Portland team and what they are wanting. They're wanting to look to get that high-low action. And Cochran almost had it to Fowler, but look at the Very aggressive play right here by Fowler.
Great recognition for the easy two.
Again, I'm talking about those end out of bounds plays again. They're doing a nice job of taking the ball to the rack, but this defensive effort by Portland has been nothing but superb in turning over this Gonzaga team and making their offense look very choppy.
Fowler with her first double-double of the season. All those points, all those rebounds, but her first double-double, she's got 10 and 10. Great timing. Fowler, look out from behind. And Williams will be called for her second.
Portland is doing a nice job of really attacking and trying to get the ball in that high post area. And if you're going to make your move, Fowler, you got to make it quick because they're coming in and swarming.
What looked like a Gonzaga rout has turned into a barn burner. Just what we had in mind. Portland by 3, lots of time left. When you take care of your team, they take care of business. Beautiful day here in Las Vegas, but man, I'd rather be inside the Orleans Arena with Nikki Fargas as we head down the stretch of a dynamite WCC Women's Tournament title game.
Well, both teams right now have really tightened up their defensive pressure, and offensively, they're making it very difficult for each one to score the basketball. Not a high-scoring half right now. Portland's only scored 3 points, while Gonzaga's only scored 2, but make no mistake about it, we've got two very potent offensive teams that can create a run and get themselves going offensively.
Lindsay, soft pass inside, easily picked by Gonzaga. It's a 3-point Portland lead, 6:30 left to go in the fourth quarter. Maxwell, the transfer from Utah, pulls up. She can't hit, she's been cold. Big board by Fowler, she throws the bows, and here comes Portland.
I think right now the pace is not really in Portland's favor. I thought in the third quarter, when they was really pushing the tempo and trying to get downhill, they did a much better job of scoring the basketball. I know at this point you want to run and execute your offensive package, but again, the pace was definitely in their favor.
Another scrum for the rebound. So Bruno picks up her third, team's second. Meek, Shear, Burnham back on the floor for Gonzaga.
You know, this Portland team averages 9.4 steals a game. Today they have 9, right on target, and it's been their defense that's gotten them back in this game.
Rimming out. Soft on that second take is Hollingsworth, and the ball stays with Gonzaga.
Again, the battle of the boards here. When you look at the fact that this Gonzaga team has gone a little cold from the field, you're going to have to try to establish and maybe get some paint points going. I think that's going to be an area that's in favor of Gonzaga, and if they can do that, I think that can get them off of that 48.
Hollingsworth again hitting the glass and scoring. 11 now for Hollingsworth. Great time to hit double figures for that veteran. Haley Trong back on the floor for Gonzaga along with Kelly Stokes. The lead is 1 for Portland.
And as the clock is winding down, you're going to have to get yourself a good look here.
Great hustle play inside by Shear. Dive into the deck. You just see what this game means to all of them. Fowler inside and scores. Count it, baby. She'll go to the line.
Fowler is one of those hard-working players. She kept calling for the basketball the entire time. Every time she's positioned herself inside, she's been able to score it. And again, that high-low pass, the defense not able to get over there in time, and she's now able to get to the free throw line for a potential three-point play.
Foul on Hollingsworth, her third. Team's fourth. Fowler scoreless in the first half. That is a rarity. And she has come alive. Big miss there, but the lead is still 3. for the Pilots as Meek picks up her third. Trap didn't work that time as Trong split the difference and drew the foul.
Well, what you don't want to do is you don't want to put, this game is probably going to go down to the wire, so you don't want to have a team already in the bonus right now. So unnecessary fouls about 80 feet from the basket. Again, play smart down the stretch here. Give your defense a chance to do what it's been doing all day.
Fowler will take a quick breath. Kaitu checking back in for the Pilots. 4:45 left to go in the fourth. Hollingsworth squares up. She wants to drive. Inside. Whoa. So Hollingsworth trying to get that ball back. Picks up her fourth. And that is the team's fifth as Ejim comes back onto the floor for Gonzaga.
Well, she can't stay off the floor too long. I mean, she's one of those players that can put the ball in the hole, and she gives them that paint points that they need. And as you mentioned earlier, she's also, too, a finalist for the Becky Hammond Mid-Major Player of the Award. And Ejim is one of those rare finds when you look at, she's an undersized post player that plays bigger than what she is, leading this team in rebounding and fourth in the WCC in scoring. She's got to be on the floor for Gonzaga.
The Canadian will play big for Gonzaga down the stretch as Shear will toe the line, her first free throws of the game. Emmy from New Zealand, one of the many internationals for the Pilots, shoots 71% from the charity stripe, as we'll have a bit of a conference before she'll get a chance to toe the line. Shear with all those hip injuries, when she is healthy, this is a Pilot club that is just so much more dynamic.
Yeah, she offers not only her ability to score the basketball, averaging 10 points a game, but she's also their best defender. If you look at the steals column where she's leading them in steals, and you can see the scrappiness of the play. But right now, the free throw line has not been friendly in this fourth quarter to the Portland team. They need every point that they can get from the free throw line. And right now, they just scored that one, so that puts them 2 of 5.
The lead is 4 for the Pilots. Shear makes 1 of 2, 4:30 left to go in the game right now. Trong. Wide open look. Great job by Burnham on that weak side rebound. Here's Shear.
I think that's a rare miss by Trong right there. The ball screen defense allowed her to get an open look, and maybe she felt too open on that. And I think you're going to have to revisit how you guard that, because she definitely can knock that down.
Burnham, who's been sensational this game. 6 on the shot clock now for Meek. She's going to go all the way to the cup and score! Where was the defense?
I don't know where the defense was right then, but it opened up a pass for Meek to take it to the hole, and she did just that.
Trong hesitates, back rimming off. Ejim rips down the rebound, another look. Maxwell, that's her shot. Maxwell has been a non-factor as Burnham picks up her third. That was a great look for Maxwell.
It was an awesome look for her, and typically she knocks that down, and she's struggling right now. This young lady shoots 50% from the three-point line, and she also can get herself, if she can get herself to the free throw line, she shoots 94.7% from the free throw line. And I think this young lady can give them more offensively, because they're going to need a little bit more punch from her.
Great step in by Fowler. Trong, who was so dynamic in the first half, struggling in this second half. Talking about Kaylin. Every possession so critical, Nikki.
Yeah, as you get into late game, the one thing you don't want to do is give the opposing team any possessions here. And look at the dribble drive penetration here. You've got a Portland team that is putting their heads down and taking it to the hole. Sharir just did that herself. And here comes the comeback jumper there. And we talked about a little bit about Maxwell doing something more. She's a pure shooter. She's got to get herself going.
58-52, that bucket was huge for Gonzaga. They needed that, as I'm stating the obvious. Under 3 to go, the lead is 6 for the Pilots. They've had easy looks the last 2 at the cup.
Well, this Portland team, they're not settling. Even though the shot clock is getting really low, they're making the extra passes. They're looking for each other.
Wild shot by Shear. Good defense by Gonzaga. And here come the Bulldogs. Crowd is up. What a game this has been. Williams, and now to Trong. She wants that pick. She's got room. Big triple! Kaylin Trong!
That's what she's capable of doing on any given day. Her ability to come back after missing some shots there. She says, you know what, the game is on the line and we need to make some shots. And what she do? She comes down, she eyes it up. If you're going to go and get stuck on the screen, know that she's going to see that and make you pay for it. And as you can see, she's like, wow, finally, I'm able to knock down the three for my team to pull them back into a 58-55 battle with Portland.
5 quick points by 2 of the best shooters for Gonzaga. It's a 1-possession lead for the Pilots. Trong, WCC Player of the Year. She led the WCC in assists during the regular season. Went over the 1,000-point career mark this season as well. 18 points now, most of them in the first half, Nikki, but that 3 could not have come at a better time.
Well, 2 minutes and 18 seconds is a lot of time still to play in this basketball game, and no one is going to come into this last part saying, hey, we're gonna leave it all on the line. Each one of these young ladies have done so, and you can see it in their play. You can see it in how they're picking up defensively here. You've got this Gonzaga team saying we're going to pick you up 94 feet to establish that we're really not tired here, and it's going to be a battle of execution down the stretch.
Pilots haven't beaten Gonzaga since that 2020 semifinal victory in upset fashion. Down low.
Ooh, close.
Yep, really close.
Well, I like the high-low look. I mean, we've been talking about that, and this time they put Burnham in that high-low action as opposed to Fowler, and they can mix it up a little bit and try to take advantage.
(58-55). 2 minutes to go in regulation. Pilots up by 3. Cochran. And the foul is going to go against Burnham. That is her 4th, team's 5th. Huge foul going against Maisie Burnham.
Well, right now you're stopping the clock, which is what Gonzaga needs. And now you're putting Ejim at the free throw line. She knocks down these 2, and this game becomes a 1-point game. And again, the first team to the bonus. Typically, you want to try to save some of these fouls. And as we reflect back on this 4th quarter, Portland has had a few of those fouls, 2 of them in particular, that were 90 feet from the basket. And so, again, every little detail of the game matters, and putting a team at the free throw line, obviously stopping the clock, plays into Gonzaga's favor.
Ejim toes the line. She's already got a double-double, looking to add to it. Hits the first one. Gonzaga really making hay at the free throw line. They're shooting a 79% program best from the line, and Ejim's been really good from the charity stripe. Gets them both. Oh, baby, here we go. 7-0 Bulldog run.
Well, this is going to be a huge possession right here for Portland. And I like when they was going and running their dribble drive action, but the high-low has also been good. But as you can see, Gonzaga is picking up their defense as well and trying to get a deflection that leads to a steal.
Fowler, ball ripped from her hands. Ejim. Everybody on their feet here at the Orleans Arena as this game is coming down to the end. Kaylin Trong gives it up. Here's Williams looking for some help. Hesitation, inside look, blocked inside. The ball belongs to Portland. What a play by Cochran.
Cochran here saying, you know what, you're not going to get it that easy, but the Gonzaga's defense right now coming up with the steal to convert. They weren't unable to do so, but right now Portland, the guys turned it over also. Good defensive play here by this Gonzaga team.
Oh, the Pilots throwing it away. Under a minute to go. The lead is 1 for the Pilots. 15 on the shot clock. Stokes cuts inside, not there. Ejim pulls up. Ejim drills it.
Huge play here by Ejim. Her ability to get the isolation at the elbow allowed her to now say for the defender, I've got to either press up where she can drive by, or I've got to give her a little space, and Cochran gave her too much space there. Again, this young lady has delivered for this Gonzaga team time and time again.
With just over 3 minutes to go, the Pilots, led by 8, a 9-0 Gonzaga run now, has given the Zags a 59-58 lead with just under 44 seconds left to go.
Well, it's been Ejim. She's gotten herself to the free throw line. She previously scored the last 2 points, and then now she's got the free throw line jumper. She's on a 4-0 run by herself. In this quarter, Ejim alone with 6 points and 7 rebounds. She's been huge as far as negating this Portland team for getting offensive rebounds as well.
21 points for Ejim, 14 rebounds, tying a career high.
Well, and she was also the one that was responsible for the turnover of Portland's last possession. And so Ejim right now is delivering for this Gonzaga team, and you got to also make sure that Portland gets an easy look here, which the high-low action has been good for them.
Fowler again going against the teeth of the defense. Great footwork. And gets it home! Count it, baby! She'll go to the line for an and one!
Both coaches doing a phenomenal job of isolating and giving isolations to their best players. Nice up and under here with the little touch foul and the finish. When you look at Fowler in the first half, and then you look at what she's been able to do this second half, this is the tale of 2 halves right here. No points in the first half, and then now she's leading with 14.7 to 14 for the field, doing it all. Fowler putting her team up right now.
3-point play for Alex Fowler with under 40 seconds left to go. It's Portland reclaiming the lead, now by a deuce, 61-59. Oh, man, I got to take a breath before I go on. All right, here we go. For the 38th year on ESPN, Champ Week continues tonight. Horizon League title game, 7 Eastern. Check. Then it's the West Coast Conference Men's Championship game. You got to follow this one, boys. The Zags have played in every WCC title game since 1998. Both are also on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. Okay, coach. Put on that coaching cap, your player's cap as well back in your championship day. What's critical these last 38 seconds for both teams?
Well, I think right now when you look at Gonzaga, who are you going to go to at this stage of the game with 37 seconds? You know you have 1 true possession left here. And the player that I would go to and give her the isolation has been the steady hand for you. And I think that's where you got to give Ejim the look. But also, I like the fact that Chong has been able to step up and hit the 3. So what should you do? I'd put my 2 best players in the ball screen action and see if you can get the switch. And if so, make sure that the spacing is there, because what Portland had done last time is when they did switch on the pick and roll, Cochran came over and took the big while the other player took the guard down low, so they didn't get the size advantage that they wanted.
All right. Gonzaga inbounding, down by a deuce.
And they go into a 2-3 right here. Gives a little bit of isolation.
Wow, offensive foul is going to go against Gonzaga. Ejim picks up her 4th. Wow. What do you think, Nick?
I think that was a call that was made in haste, so to speak, because I don't think she was completely there. And this time of the game, you know, let the players make the calls or make the plays. Let the game be decided by the players on the floor. I've always subscribed to that. But I think the defensive effort here to try to draw the charge was good. They came out in a 2-3 zone, which changed up a little bit, but I like the isolation play that they were looking to give Ejim, and I thought that was a strong move by her, and that foul should have not been called. I wouldn't have called it. I would have let them play through that.
So Vonnie, as they call her, picks up her 4th. So critical. Neither team with a timeout left. Everybody's in the bonus. Possession arrow favoring Gonzaga.
So if you're coming out right now, if I'm Gonzaga, I'm really pushing a lot of pressure on there and trying to get the jump ball before I foul. You've got time to really try to turn them over. You know, with the timeout situation, no timeout, Portland was unable to advance the basketball. The last time that we saw Gonzaga get a run, they stole the ball underneath on the end out of bounds play from Portland. So right now, defensively, there's no more timeout. So you also can get a 5-second call if you go hard denial. Right now, you have nothing to lose. I would go hard denial and then try to get a jump ball.
So on that timeout, Portland advancing the ball. But to your point, Nikki, they've got to inbound it, and then they've got to avoid a tie-up. And here comes the heat. Meek splits the difference.
You still can get the tie-up again.
Whistle will blow the play dead.
What I did like about Meeks right there, she saw the double team coming and she split them immediately to get away from them. But I thought Gonzaga still could have brought another double team because it didn't look like Portland was going to try to attack to get to the basket. It looks like they're trying to keep the basketball thinking that they were going to get fouled.
Meek with her first free throws of the game. Mikkel out of Beaverton, Oregon, 76% free throw shooter. You have got to tip your cap to Mikkel Meek. A role player all the way. Haley Edwards blows out the knee in January. Mikkel becomes the starter. She's been rock solid. Hits two.
Well, you got to go quick right now. Gonzaga's got still time on the clock here. It's got to be a quick two. You don't have to go for a three.
Trong with the three. Back rim and off. Stokes with the big board. And you don't want to stop the clock if you're Portland, as Burnham will foul out. What a game, though, for Burnham with 19 points and the 6 boards. Those triples were huge. She had herself a game.
Oh, she was just so solid for Portland tonight. She did such a phenomenal job on both ends of the basketball. And I would say that Gonzaga right now need these 2 free throws. And 16 seconds is still a lot of time.
A ton of time.
Again, right now there's no timeout, so there's no advancing of the basketball.
That's right. Stokes, the redshirt freshman, only a 55% free throw shooter, misses her first toss of the game. This is a must. Gets 1 of 2.
Again, the possession arrow is in Gonzaga's favor if they were to get a tie-up.
Meek almost tied up. And the jump ball, that's exactly what Gonzaga wanted. As Trong is down. Kaylin is down.
Well, there was a hard collision between the two there when they were running their press offense, but hopefully she's okay because they both went down hard.
Kaylin Trong, the heart and soul of this Gonzaga team. Coach Fortier out on the floor now for Gonzaga.
Again, it looks like they're going to get her up here and
sitting up.
Sit her up. Yes.
Yeah, with some assistance. Let's take a look at what happened, Nick.
Well, it looks like there could have been a collision right there, shoulder to shoulder. And nothing intentional.
Right.
Nothing intentional at all.
You see sheer, yeah, it was both of those players kind of looking opposite directions and just accidentally running into each other as Kaylin Trong will go to the sideline with the 18 points, 4 triples, 5 assists.
Well, Shear was going to take her player towards the ball, and it looked like she was going to release long, and they just collided with each other. So, again, 11.5 seconds is a lot of time. If Gonzaga can get a good look at the three-point line.
Well, you mentioned that possession arrow. How critical was that to favor Gonzaga as Meek got tied up?
Well, it was huge, and one of the things you don't want your players to do is catch the ball below the free throw line extended, because that's a perfect place for the person who's on the ball to then go and double the receiver, and the fact that Coach Meeks didn't have any timeouts. He was unable to advance the basketball, or if they didn't like what they saw, they were unable to take a timeout as well.
Incidental contact on the play.
So incidental contact on the play. Again, two players trying to defend and one trying to go offensively.
Do you need a three right now, or and go to Maxwell, or with 11.5 get a quick hitter?
Well, right now you could have looked for an isolation inside and went with a quick two right here, but it looks like they're going for the three.
And there's the ball, and there's the tie-up. Possession arrow favoring Portland with 6.2 left as Maxwell lost the handle.
I think it was really difficult. The spacing wasn't there, and the little deflection here. And again, the possession arrow in favor of Portland right now. And who's on the floor? But Fowler coming up with the jump ball.
6.2 left. Pilots with the ball, with the lead. They've got to inbound it. There are the cutters. Shear looking for help and finds Frawley. You take care of the ball now. The Pilot faithful are looking at an improbable win. We're going to hold it. We're going to hold it, and we will set the stage. The foul with seconds left will delay the improbable, but how about the Portland Pilots? Nobody outside of the Bluff on campus in the City of Roses gave this club a chance. How about it?
Well, they've got to be so proud of themselves right now because of how hard they fought back. The third quarter was definitely the deciding factor. 26-13, their defensive intensity really picked up. And then the play of their leader and Fowler, I thought she did such a great job of stepping up in the second half here. And then you got to give a lot of credit to Burnham, who fouled out. She was holding it down in the first half, and again, a lot of great hustle plays that we've seen. And Gonzaga, they've got an unbelievable team as well. And right now we got 1.7 seconds to
this
go
game
in the game.
isn't over yet.
Still a lot of time.
I thought there was a breath left. 1.7, if Shearer can't make one, is a ton of time for heroics.
Well, in this situation, you make one, but if she was not to make one, I would then probably miss the second one. And because that's 1.7 seconds left to go, so that's a long way to go, and now you don't have them inbound the basketball and be able to throw some long play or long pass for a play action. So if she makes this one, game's over.
Ejim fouling out. Game is over. Unbelievable. Emmy Shear, another one of those internationals, as Kaylin Trong, with tears in her eyes, injured moments ago, sits on the bench. The Pilots will beat Gonzaga for the first time since 2020.